Hey, it was report day today, and in this report historically brings us some volatility, and today was no different. We got some volatility, but there's really only one big change in the numbers out there. Let's look at the stocks figures first. I mean, this is just really I call it a nothing burger report on stocks. You had the actual with the USDA pegged really close to the estimates. I mean, if this was the only numbers we were working off of in here today, I mean, we would have passed by in about less than 1 second. Now we get over to the acreage report in here, and this is where you have some numbers that are really interesting in here. On the top line, you got corn acreage that came in right at estimates in here. We go to the bottom line on spring wheat acreage, was a little bit higher than the estimates and matched what they had back in the March side of it. But then when we look at the soybean side of it, to us, that's the big deal in here right now. You got bean acres, 2.1 million acres below the estimate, 2.7 million acres below that March report. This is a huge adjustment on the bean side of it. And with that adjustment, what we saw today is this bean market rally back. We had this chart out on Tuesday, and you're looking at retracement levels and moving averages, and said, hey, if we can bounce on beans, you'd target 1470, 1490, 1513, and you got a 50-day moving average right around 1507. Well, after this report came out, we quickly went back above $15. Granted, we backed off a little bit, but this report really does put some support underneath this bean market, saying 14 to 1450 is probably going to be longer term support until we get a lot further through the growing season. So as we want to wrap up here today, again, we mentioned the stocks report was a non-factor. Corn wheat acreage really wasn't a big deal. The markets have responded negatively to it. That's probably just more following the trend in here recently. This soybean acreage, though, this is the issue. And the reason why it's an issue is when we take 2.7 million acres away and we put an average yield of 51.5 bushels an acre, that's nearly 140 million bushels. When you consider on the last ending carryout, new crop carryout is forecasted at 280 million. This report alone cuts that acreage in half with all the weather in front of us. Now the bears on the bean market are going to make the argument world carryout levels are still high. Our point is, and we acknowledge they are still relatively high, to achieve those ending carryouts, we're not one, but we're 2 growing seasons away to achieve that. A U.S. supply here this summer and a South American supply this coming winter. This is all about weather in here right now. Corn and wheat are going to try to find some levels to base that in here. Still plenty of uncertainty. For right now, though, you got to say a near-term lows in place on soybeans, all because of this report. We look forward to being back here next Tuesday. Any questions, give us a call or drop us an email. Have a great day.